everybody, how are you? I've been trying to work out rooms on Facebook, but nobody seems to be there, so I thought I'd just come live on my page just so that you can see me here, hopefully. So today I'm going to be going over the 3 steps to ease your back issues. So I'm just trying to check on another screen to see whether I'm going live. It doesn't tell me that I am, but I am live, so hopefully you should be able to see me. So if anyone's there and can see me now, please do let me know if you're there, and also let me know your one, oh, it looks like I'm live now, excellent, your one main frustration that you have with your back issues. So what is your main frustration? So today I'm going to be going through the 3 steps to ease your back issues. So I'm just going to minimize that window so I can definitely see where I am. Here we go. Okay, so the 3 steps to ease your back issues. Let's get started. So welcome everybody. My name is Sandia. If you didn't already know, but you probably do because you're in this group. And today I'm going to go through my 3 steps to ease your back issues. So whilst we're just waiting for everyone to join, do put in the comments your main issue with your back at the moment. What's your biggest frustration? Okay, and I'll keep an eye out for your comments. So it's if you've got any questions, you can just pop them in there. I've got it open on my other screen. So let's get started. So thank you so much for attending. I'm glad you're here to learn about my 3 strategies that I use. So as I said, it's an interactive training. So please do comment in the box so I can answer any questions that you have. So this is my promise for you today. Today I'm going to show you how you can stop thinking there's nothing more you can do about your back, and that is only going to get worse as you get older, to knowing what to do to ease your back issues so that you feel stronger, more mobile. So let me know in the comments if that sounds good for you, and also if you're on replay, let me know as well. So specifically we're going to be talking about and specifically you're going to discover what you've been doing for years to reduce your back pain doesn't get to the root of the issue, and I'm going to walk you through what does. So have you tried these things? Are you tired of visiting the doctors and need to be given more and more medication, or tired of visiting that tablet cupboard at home for more ibuprofen? Maybe you've tried some stretches but feel you need something more. Or perhaps you're fed up with trying to get moving and trying an exercise class only to find that you can only do half of the things in there. How frustrating is that? Or maybe you've been to the chiro or osteopath and found it helpful, but you just wonder if there's something else there that you can do to help yourself rather than just relying on them. Maybe you feel that you've slowed down and your body feels 5 or 10 years older than you really are. And maybe you feel annoyed because your body just won't do what you want it to do. If you can relate to any of those things, so body work, as I put in this kind of massage, osteo, physio, that type of thing, put a comment in below, especially if you're watching on replay, because I'd love to know. So I know that is totally frustrating and I totally get it. You're following what the internet or the doctors have told you or what you think you should do, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. So if you're nodding your head yes in agreement to any of these points, I know because I've done all of those things. And I promise you, whatever it is that you're doing is not quite working, it's not your fault. It's really hard to know what to do. And if you feel anything like I did before, then I would have just done about anything to get rid of my backache, especially during those frustrating days, when I just was like, what am I going to do? But nothing seemed to work. Nothing seemed to work long term. I just didn't know what to do. So here I am. That's me 7 years ago. I was struggling. Well, that's how, actually, it's not me 7 years ago. It's about me 4 years ago. But I just wanted to show you how I felt. That's exactly how I felt. I was struggling picking up my shopping, struggling to bend down to tidy up my daughter's toys, and lifting up my daughter because of my back. I found it so difficult because my husband just didn't understand the pain I was in, and I'd get irritated and he would get irritated and say to me, why can't you do this? Why can't you do anything? And that just like made me feel so much worse. I felt useless and I felt totally fed up. I just wanted to feel better. I took painkillers, I stretched out my back. I waited to see the physio as recommended by my doctor. They gave me exercises to do, but unfortunately those exercises made things worse for me. I had massages, I tried acupuncture, shiatsu, chiropractic treatments, osteopathy, sound therapy. You name it, I've tried it. I had MRIs as well, and that just came back as nothing to note. One of your hips is a bit more worn than it should be, but we can't see anything, and that is just so frustrating because you just want like an answer. So I remember one time I picked up my daughter and her pain travelled up my back. I couldn't move. If you've been there, let me know. My back just went into spasm. And I asked myself, how was I going to get on with the day? How was I going to look after my daughter? I took some more painkillers and I called my mum for help. Luckily, she could come over. I called the chiropractor. I couldn't cope with the pain. Thing is, though, when you're in so much pain, you can't get out, can you? To see the doctors or chiros. That's unfortunate. Again, I was back in the cycle of weekly trips to the chiropractor to help me get out of the pain I was in. Let me know if you have been there too. I'm just going to have a little drink of water. Tell me in the comments if you're struggling with the same thing or maybe something similar. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's felt stuck and thought I was doing all the right things. So, unfortunately, I was in 3 car accidents. So my first car accident, I was at a T-junction and a Jeep drove in the back of me and I just whacked forward and had terrible whiplash. I ended up sleeping on the floor and that was my worst car accident. Unfortunately, I've had 3 of them. Second one, same thing. Somebody drove into the back of me. And the third one, can you believe it? How unlucky am I? But that's 3 now, so that should be the end of it, I hope. So after those car accidents, I just said, how am I going to sort myself out? This is just years of going on with this. And I said, enough was enough. What could I do? I trained as a Pilates and yoga instructor, and I began to adapt the exercises so they were more suitable for me and my back. I discovered which ones aggravated my back and which ones worked for me and just took them out. I began to feel stronger and I was able to pick up my child without my back hurting. Since then, I've worked with hundreds of people with lower back issues, helping them reduce their symptoms, helping them reduce their trips to the doctors and visiting medical professionals. I know that I might have been in extreme situations. So if you've hurt your back just while golfing, gardening, or just putting your socks on, then my 28-day program may be the answer you're looking for. If it can fix the most extreme cases after 3 car accidents and whilst being pregnant, it can certainly get you on the journey to ease your back issues. So even though now I'm able to wake up without feeling like I'm as stiff as a board, I can wake up in bed without being in pain, I can pick up my child with ease. I've managed to get back to the hobbies and I enjoy going on long walks. It took me 8 years to figure it all out. I had to unlearn everything I thought was the right thing to do because I quickly discovered they weren't getting to the root of the issues, and I had to test out different formulas to see which ones worked for me and my body. I struggled. My house was a mess. I couldn't do the cleaning up. All I wanted to do was tidy it up, but bending down to pick up things was painful, and all my daughter's toys were all over the floor. Hoovering was impossible. I wished someone could have told me what to do without having to spend so much time and energy trying to figure it all out. It took a lot of time and patience, and there was no way I could have arrived at the Pilates for back system without having invested in my professional education and becoming an expert in lower backs. But I was fully committed to figuring it out, and I was not going back to my old ways. what I discovered through all the trial and error was that it wasn't I wasn't strong enough or able enough or had weak willpower. I discovered none of those thoughts were helpful. I figured out that in fact I had a weak core. So the core muscles help to support the back. And I needed to strengthen them. I needed to stretch out the tight muscles that were overcompensating for the weak ones. And once I started to address my weak core, everything changed for me. And I want to share how I did all of that so you can skip over all the trial and error too. There is a simpler way to get freedom from your back issues without relying on trips to chiros, osteos, and without resorting to medication, just relying on that all the time. So if you want that simpler way, let me know in the comments. So here's Dave, one of my students. Dave had sciatica, which is pain in the lower back, and right the way down to his big toe. He felt frustrated with the pain. He wasn't able to move as much as he could before, and he was unable to walk or sit for long periods of time. He'd been to see various body workers, chiro-osteos and massages, and he said they worked well temporarily. He had an MRI which showed that he had spondylosis, which is a type of arthritis. And that causes wear and tear on the spine. And therefore his back was misaligned and misplaced. And everybody said to him, there is just nothing more we can do for you. You're going to have an operation, a major back fusion. So David done everything that he thought was the best thing to do, except none of those things work. His osteopath said, there's nothing more I can do for you. Try to keep mobile and do some Pilates. So Dave reached out and joined Pilates. He came out of his comfort zone and he said, I was doing it and wondering, what on earth am I doing here? However, within weeks, his back pain decreased significantly. He began to feel better. He managed to return to golf that he had to give up before, and all of a sudden he was managing his injury, and he no longer had to have a major back operation. This is what he said: I've never had to look back. I feel more mobile, more pain-free. I'm committed to doing the exercises at home, and when I quickly realised they were doing me good, that was the incentive I needed to keep going. And I even did a 6-mile walk with no pain. So there is Dave. And here's Alison. I'm wondering if I can show you this video, if it will work. Let me try. Well, it's on, but
special to anyone. Sanjay has been fantastic to me. Thank you. My back has improved. My core. I'm pretty flexible, but what I love about you adapt for everyone. We're all different. There's no competition. We have a giggle. Life is like that. But I would just ask anybody, give it a go. You've got nothing to lose, but absolutely so much to gain.
And how do you feel usually at the end of the class?
Totally invigorated. I mean, like now, I feel as though I could dance for the world. And I probably would, because I love dancing. But no, it's just great. And I'm so glad that I met you and I made that step. And I would recommend that to anybody.
Did you have any concerns before you?
Well, just the usual that we all do. We don't know what we can do. We've all got different abilities. And in this class especially, we're all different. Some are more flexible. But what I love about you adapt for everyone. There's a different way, 2 or 3 different ways for you to do a movement. But the strengthening, it's gentle. That's what I love. But it's so strengthening. And you've taught us that. And it's a great class. And I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Alison.
So there is Alison. So she wasn't sure what her body could do. She was concerned how she would get on. Now she says her back and her core has improved, and she finally understands how to adapt the exercises to suit her body, because we all are unique. So this is Alice. Why is that showing like that? I'm not sure. That should be an image, but it's not. That's because I'm just waiting for the delay. It has worked. There's a bit of delay on Facebook. Okay, so I haven't got a picture of Alice, so I've just put a picture of a Pilates class here. So Alice said I had backache and hip pain. I've always had poor posture and especially needed to straighten up after years of being hunched over while studying. I had a shoulder injury years ago which restricted movement for a long time. Before I started Pilates for backs, I felt I was getting older and going into a downward spiral. I thought this would be how I would continue or I'd get worse. I wouldn't go on long walks when it was painful, but otherwise I managed to continue doing my chores, etc. However, after completing Pilates for backs, I feel more comfortable, more agile, more flexible, and have better balance. So imagine you now feeling more in control of your life and your back feeling stronger and more supple. You feel more positive about your future. You know what tools and skills you can use to keep your back pain at bay. Imagine having the confidence to know what to do to help your back. If you want that to be you, type me in the comments. Do you want to be that way? Okay, so here are my 3 steps. Number 1, mobilise and stretch. 2, activate your natural built-in back support. And 3, retrain and reset years of bad back habits. So mobilising and stretching. If you've seen a cat or watched a wildlife programme, you'll understand that cats love and need to stretch. And they do this to get their muscles moving again after periods of inactivity, whether they've been sitting still or sleeping. And this is a necessity for them to survive in the wild, to be able to be agile, catch food, jump away from danger, etc. They've got to move to get on with their everyday activities. And the concept is the same for us. We need to move. Our body features a fascia membrane which surrounds our muscles and is like several layers of cling film. If we do not move regularly, the fascia gets tighter and tighter, thicker and thicker, and we become more and more stiff. In addition to the above, the muscles become shorter and tighter from reduced movement. And if we don't stretch our muscles, this can lead to injuries from everyday movements, such as reaching to put your socks on, making your bed, or just as simple as getting up and down from a chair. So moving regularly and stretching is most important to your everyday life. Stretching helps to elongate the tight muscles. However, this is only part 1 of the jigsaw. You also need to strengthen the core. For years I did yoga and it was helpful for my back, but after studying to become a yoga teacher, I realised there was something else missing. And that was I also needed to tone and strengthen the core muscles by using low impact floor-based Pilates exercise. But of course I couldn't do sit-ups and I couldn't do crunches because they put strain on my back and neck. So what is this core? The core plays a huge role in supporting the back. Just imagine a tree. The trees have a strong root structure so they can withstand heavy winds and stand still whilst those winds are coming. They stay standing. Our core muscles are an essential part of keeping the body and the back supported, just like the roots of the tree. When the core is strong, it reduces the risk of your back suddenly going out of place. And the core muscles are used in so many daily movements, such as getting out of bed, walking down the street, bending to pick up children. Everything you can possibly think of. Moving is king. So let me know in the comments, do you think you move enough? Or do you sit down too much? Which one are you? Are you a culprit for sitting down too much? It might be at a desk, it might be at home. Let me know. Okay, and number 3, retrain and reset years of bad back habits. So I began to watch how I held my posture in everyday activities. I learned how to reduce my anxiety and stress that was caused by the pain, and even aggravated the pain even further. Okay, so let's review what we've talked about. So, importance of mobilizing and stretching, moving every day, stretching out those tight muscles, toning and strengthening the core of the body, so it acts like a corset around the body. We're talking about the roots of the tree, nice supported structure there, and retrain and reset years of bad back habits. So, if you're used to rounding through your shoulders, not moving a lot, you need to address those. Or maybe there's something you're doing repetitive, which isn't good for your back, which is often, you get lots of golfers, swinging from the same side all the time, and that muscle on usually the right side, most people are right-handed, gets overused. So what are you doing to any repetitive things that you're doing that could be causing your back issues as well? Okay, at the beginning of this training, I made a promise to you that I was going to show you how you can stop thinking there's nothing more you can do about your back, and it's only going to get worse as you get older, to know what to do to ease your back issues so you feel stronger and more mobile. I want you to remember everything I've shared with you today isn't some random theory or some idea that I think might work for you. Everything I walked you through works. It worked for me and it worked for my clients. And they all started from a similar spot to where you are right now. I'm not special and they're not special. We've all got busy lives, and they often don't think they're fit enough or strong enough. And if they can do it, I am so confident you can do it too. You already know that you can achieve freedom from your lower back issues as long as you have accountability and a plan to follow. So you're halfway there already. So let me know in the comments if you would like me to help reduce your back issues. Type in, yes, help me with my back issues if you want help. Okay, that's great. I am honoured to share this opportunity with you because the best way I can help you is by personally supporting each of you. So I've set aside time over the next couple of days to speak to you personally about how I can support you and to apply what we've talked about today so that you can begin to reduce your back issues within 28 days. I do that with a call called Improve Your Back Pain call. And this call's for you if you've got general lower back pain, herniated disc, sciatica, scoliosis, spondylolisthesis, osteoarthritis, or just general backache. And if you want to have some floor-based exercises and techniques to help reduce your back pain. It's for you if you're ready to commit to following a step-by-step system even when life gets rocky. Don't worry, you'll get support so you hopefully won't fall off that horse. If you're tired of trying one thing after another and want to know how to support your body so you can stop feeling aching, sore and your back spasming, then this is for you. It's also for you if you want to stay as active as possible and try to continue with your daily activities. And if you value your body enough to prioritise it for 28 days. So I'm honoured to share this opportunity. So all you need to do, if you want to book a call, you go to the link that I've popped in here. I will put it in the comments below. You pick your day, click on the button, what time you would like, add your telephone number in, then I will give you a call and we can have that call or at that time which you've decided to pick. What else did I want to say? Let me see. I put some notes here, make sure I've covered everything. Okay, yeah, so on this call we'll be able to go through a couple of questions, and the call is free, by the way. So I'm not the only one in the Pilates or fitness industry. There are so many people out there doing that, which is absolutely great. However, I am the best at working with individuals with lower back issues who want to reduce their issues without solely relying on body workers. I transformed my own life and my client's life. So here's what to do next. I'll put the link in the comments and you can book a call with me. Here it is. So now you've seen how to schedule that call. I want to go over a couple of specifics on the call to help you discover a simple and effective way to get in a little bit of freedom from your back issue. So on the call, we'll get clear on your specific goal, why you want it, any obstacles and challenges that might derail your success, and any self-sabotage that is happening. By the time the call is over, you'll leave with helpful recommendations that propel your success. And if I think you're a right candidate for my 28-day program, we can also talk about that as well. Oh, and that's the end. I didn't finish my last slide. I forgot to put it in. So thank you so much. If you've got any questions for me, please do ask me. I'd love to know. And if you want to book a call, there is a link again. I'll put it in the comments. And thank you for your time for watching. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you once again, and goodbye. If I can end it.